bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Welcome. How you doing? Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Today is Thursday, October 10th, 2024. And if you didn't get the memo, today's a pretty cool day. So that's what we are going to do tonight. It's a special celebration. It's an AMA. It's an AJA for my birthday. Yeah. Today I turned 61 years old, and looking at tonight and what I wanted to do with it, and I was going to bring in a guest and do all of that. And I thought, you know what? No, I want to hang out with the Fadernauts. That's what I want to do. So I just canceled all those plans and let's just hang out tonight. All right. And post your questions in all caps. We'll get to those. Post them in all caps because I'm officially 61 and I'm blind. So do that for me, please, in the chat. And if you're listening to me on another network or over on Twitter, maybe. Oh, we're not broadcasting to Facebook anymore. Facebook hassled me. In case you haven't noticed, and it was after a very benign show. I can't even remember which one it was, like 2 weeks ago, and they stopped. Eben Alexander, right? And so I get this note at the end of the show. I get this notice, of like 2 minutes before we ended, that we were no longer broadcasting on Facebook. And I thought that's weird. So I wrapped the show. And then I go over to Facebook and check. There's this thing right there. You violated our community standards. What? We removed your video. What? I said, okay, so that's it. I haven't posted about it or comment. I don't want whatever. Eben Alexander. How did that show violate community standards? So anyway, but if you're somewhere else listening to me, TalkStream Live or any of the live podcasts that are, we do like 20 streams. So, but if you're out there and you want to get a question in, just head over to YouTube, go to our YouTube channel and for Fade to Black. And then post your question in the chat right there and put it in all caps and I will get to it. All right. So yeah, tonight, let's just party. Let's just do it. And let's actually just get straight to it. I'm going to pull this down. Let's get over to the comments and let's just start this show. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to start highlighting questions. Put your questions is all caps. Let's see. I am going backwards now. I'm just highlighting questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm just, I guess the happy birthdays are in all caps right now. That's a good question right there. Okay. All right, and so that's good enough for now. Okay, so let me get this semi set up for all of you. Again, all you have to do is post in the chat over on YouTube and in all caps. Okay, all right, so I've got this set up. I am good to go. Okay, so a couple of things. Wow, right? 61 and feels a little different, and I'm sure there'll be questions about this later, so we'll hold off on that. 60 didn't phase me. 50 kind of did. I think once you pass 50, it's just like, well, whatever. You just got to ride this thing out. 61 felt weird. Yeah. Looking back, I didn't dig 20. I liked being a teenager. I didn't like suddenly being 20 and saying that. I liked saying 15, 16, 17, 18, right? I like that. I like 19. 20, just kind of like, well, all right, the party's over kind of thing. And it just the reality of adulthood, I think. 20, 40, I had friends that freaked out at 40. I mean, like really, like I went terminal. I didn't. 50, yeah. 50 was strange. 50 was strange. 60, not so much. 61, though, it's like weird. Yeah. Felt a little weird. So this morning, I took my Harley out, and I was talking about this earlier today. Maybe it was on Christina's show, and that I normally drive pretty aggressive. It's a fast bike. I've got it set up to be fast, to be sporty. This isn't a cruise. This is some highway. No, it's set up to lean forward and get funky. I got racing tires. So anyway, but I just kind of cruised out because my mind was just there, and I went out to my tree, and I sat there and just something a little paranormally happened this morning. Not paranormal, but it was weird. So I was sitting there, and my back to the lake, and I was looking towards the mountains. My back's to the lake. I'm looking towards the mountains. And I hear now the parking lot, which is empty, is off to my right. And I can see that there's nobody there. And I'm alone. And behind me to my left, up the lake, I hear a voice. And it's very clear. It's a male voice. Talking to somebody, like, whoa. Okay. I didn't really pay much attention. I heard it. And then I heard it again. And then it was like the third time. And I might have heard a response. I wasn't sure. But I turn around and look, and there's nobody there. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a couple of fishermen coming through the weeds. The tall grass. There's some trees there. Didn't see anybody. And so that kind of I stood up on the rock and just kind of looked down. I thought, okay, are they in a boat? Hidden by the weeds? What's going on? I didn't see anybody. And so I turned back around and I snapped the pic that posted on social media. That happened next. So I posted that pic, and then I posted my comment about the moment. And I sit down on the rock and I said, okay, all right, post. And I heard the voice again. And I turn around, I'm like, where are, but I never saw anybody. Somebody was down there. It was just fun to not see. And every time I turned around, there were no voices. There were only, and it was loud. Couldn't quite understand, but it was loud. And it was weird. I was like, man. So I turned my back and I sit back. Nothing else happened. But this went on for like 15 minutes. Every time I turned around. Okay. All right. So I've got everything set up now. Okay. As promised, somebody came by and gifted me some Skull vodka. There it is. And I've got it ready to go. Shot glass. Okay. So I've got that. I'll do a shot with you guys. I'm just going to do one. Don't get all excited that I'm going to get plowed on the air, but I promised. And, I try to stick to that stuff. Try to be a man of my word. And, you know what? All right. Crystal Head Vodka. All right, everybody. Thank you for all of the birthday wishes. Let's have a good time tonight. And there you go. Salute. Oh, that's good. That's good. Woo! Okay. I'm ready to go now. Let's see what I can mess up. You guys happy? Huh? Huh? All right. And now I've got a pile of birthday gifts over here. I'm going to show you guys some of them that some I can't show that are here. And for anybody that is listening, I'm not going to say who sent me what or anything like that. If you are in the chat and you send me something and you see it on the screen, then you can say it in the chat. But I'm not going to embarrass anybody or say anything publicly. But I have that. Okay. So what does this button do? I know, right? So I have some birthday gifts here. I'm going to show those. Oh, what I was going to say is if you're listening, I got 3 notifications today for 3 different packages, 3 different tracking numbers. Okay, all USPS, by the way, United States Postal Service. 3. And 1 is being delivered tomorrow, and 2 are being delivered on Saturday. So if you have sent me something, you don't see it on the show tonight, maybe you're one of those packages. And I got a notification from FedEx too as well. So yeah, they didn't arrive today, and I know what you guys are trying to do. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. Let's get to questions. You want to see some gifts? Okay. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Okay. Wow, look at these questions, man. They're popping in. Okay, so let's okay. It's going to be a great show. Okay, let me get to the top. Let's get to the questions. Oh, that was, man, I can't. The questions are coming in too fast. Okay. All right, okay. So, this one, let's get this going. Thank you, everybody. All the birthday wishes, everything that's popping up here, social media, people that have texted me and emails and everything else. It really means a lot. It's a very cool day. It was strange for me today versus past years. So getting all of that from all of you really meant a lot. Let me see. Are my cameras are fine. So I got multi-views on the, why is that like that? It should be like that, right? And then this is now in the way. That's fine. Okay. All right. Yeah, but see, if I do this over here, then this, that's, okay. So we can do that. Is that fine? Okay, so then what's wrong with bringing this up? It's got to go here like that. Okay, so are we cool? Cool. I'm close enough. Boom, done. All right, cool. That's for the gifts if I need to get another angle going. So this was sent to me. I did the post and I said who sent it. This is a cut that was made for me by a friend of mine in Florida. And some would call this a vest. It's called a cut in the motorcycle world. And what's really cool about this, Harley Davidson, there are certain rules that you have to follow with these. Okay, there are rules in the biking world. But so my name here, Jimmy, very, very cool. It fits perfect. Fits like a glove. And then on the back, there is a microphone. You see it? Hold on. Let's go here. There's a microphone right there. And then we have, check that out. Jimmy Church Radio, Fade to Black. Okay, so I've got a patch being made. It's also for my birthday. It's being made for me by my daughter, Nicole, and the Fade to Black skull is going to go right there. Okay. So this is unbelievable. I might dress it up a little bit on the front, but having something like this, hold on. This thing is so perfect. Look at that. Look at this baby. Huh? What? What? I'll admit to all of you, just so you know, I slept with this the first night. I did. I put it on and went to bed. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I'll wear it for the rest of the show. Yeah. 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 It's got Kevlar. Okay. First question coming up. This is from Renee. Renee says, Jimmy, in the last AMA AJA, you said you needed more time to answer Fadernauts' request for a paranormal music industry story. So I'm asking this before the show. Thanks. Okay, well, I'm seeing it right now because I didn't get to this until now. A paranormal music industry show. Story. Okay. All right. Man, I can't really name names, though. I don't know if I can. I get this studio, and it was big, in North Hollywood, California, in an industrial park. It was already a studio. The owner had passed away, and I bought it from the estate. It was a sister and a brother. And this was around 1990. And it was a big, big place. It was a rehearsal studio, but it was 2 rooms. And so I buy it and I turn it into a recording studio. And it was ginormous. I think the whole thing, one story, but the whole thing was about 4,000 square feet, rectangle. And then with one room that was about a third of the size, and then 2/3 of it was one room. Anyway, I put a window in for the recording room, for the studio part, and that's installed. And it was a massive, I don't know, 30, 40 foot ceiling. And so put this window in. On the other side in the live room, it was all open. It was dark. There were no windows. And there were lights in there, but there were industrial lights on the ceiling, but those I never really turned on. Anyway, but down below, I had a couple of consoles, some couches, music gear, 50 mic stands were out there. There was a bunch of stuff, boxes, and this huge open room. And I had like a couple of lights in there that were on. And like I said, 2 areas with some couches and stuff, but it was in transition. I was going to divide this into other rooms and stuff. But anyway, it was dark, it was shadowy, and it was kind of weird. Anyway, so one night I'm there, I'm working late, and it's probably 9, 10 o'clock at night. And this friend comes by. I'm not going to say what her name is. Anyway, she comes by, she brings me food. And she comes in, and I'm sitting in the front office. There was an office with a desk and a phone. And she brings me the food. I'm eating the food. She has a video camera. And she walks into the studio and is videotaping the progress. The studio part was pretty much done. Consoles in, guitars are hung, effects racks are in, coffee table, couches, that stuff. It looked really nice in there. It was really cool. So she's walking through. I'm eating. And I hear, now this is all soundproofed and everything. And so from 2 rooms over, she's in the main live room. He screams. like for real. And by the time I went, did she scream? She comes running into the office with the video camera. And she goes, I just saw a ghost. Somebody's in here. Oh, man. And, right. Can I eat my food? You know? And so anyway, she rewinds the tape. She's showing me the screen, and I'm looking at it. It's a little screen. And, no. Now I remember. She hooked up. I had a TV in the office. Not a big one, but it was color TV. And she had cables, and she took the cables and plugged them into the TV. And we're watching the TV, and I'm eating this food, and she's rewinding it, and I'm looking at it. It's like Taco Bell. And I'm watching it, and man, there's somebody in my studio, and she was over in the corner, like closest to me, and diagonal. It's a big room, probably 50 feet by 50 feet square, or bigger, 50 by 60 feet, 30 feet tall. But on the other side of the room, you can see this person walk into the shadows. It's clear as day. I'm watching this on the screen. I was like, what? And I hear her scream in the videotape. And I get up. I was armed. So I do that. And I walk into the studio, and it's dark in there. You know, and I turn on the lights, the big industrial lights. I don't see anything. There's nobody in there. I was convinced that somebody was, but there wasn't. There wasn't anybody in there. And the only other place in the entire building would have been the bathroom, and that's a long hallway on the other side. But I checked that. Nobody's there. A couple of days later, I'm having a party, and I've got probably 200 people there. And we were mainly in the control room. Somebody comes running in and says, the main room was shut down. The lights were off and stuff. There was a couple lights on. Somebody comes running in. There's somebody out there. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, where? And I came back over there in the corner. They walked by. I was, oh, really? I didn't see anything. That wasn't videotaped. But there you go. Everybody from the party came into the live room and was standing there listening to this person freak out. I didn't want to tell everybody, hey, I got this videotape, which I didn't have, of this happening on the other side of the studio the other night. But there were a lot of pretty big names there that were all there for that. It was pretty interesting. Okay. So that's a paranormal story, and let's move on. That was like one of my first forays into like ghosts and things like that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is Church your real last name? Yes, it is. This is Louise. People. What is this? Jimmy, happy, healthy birthday. I checked and found that there was a waxing crescent moon on the day you were born. Is that right? In 1963, you're saying? These people are said to be adventurous and have curiosity about life. Very interesting. That's interesting. Does this sound like you? Does this sound like you, birthday boy? Yeah, I would say it does. Okay, Zenzabel. All right, Zenzabel says, so when do we get part 2 with Ronnie Dawson? Oh, man. Michelle, are you listening? Ronnie Dawson. Let's reach out to Ronnie. You said yes once. Man, I'm roasting hot in this vest. You said yes once. Part 1 is still talked about a lot. Would love to know. All right. Yeah. Where's Love Life has been since. Yeah. Ronnie Dawson. That was the cat woman. That was the cat alien. The tiger. The feline alien. Yeah. Yeah. Ronnie Dawson. Yeah, Ronnie's a good guy. That's an amazing story, all of it, with the oil fields and everything else that's around it. It's not just the sex with aliens part, it's everything else, and it's pretty crazy. All right. Dex wants to know when you are coming to Australia, and more importantly, Perth. I know, man, I might be able to pull that off next year. Perth. Okay, hold on for a second. Let's go to Australia. So let's go to Australia. Let me see how many billions of miles Perth is. So yeah, so if I fly into Sydney, Perth is, let's see, that's 200 miles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what, 2,000 miles, Sydney to Perth. That's like going across the United States. Wow, that's crazy. But Perth, Australia is way on the radar. I was talking to somebody about that today. Way on the radar. Way on the radar. So I've got to get that knocked out, Dex, and I can't wait to come over there and hang out with you. Dex says, don't make me follow you to Egypt. All right. Jimmy, what's your favorite Pantera song and album? Oh, man. Okay, so Vulgar Display of Power, Cowboys from Hell, right? Far Beyond Driven. Like those first, the Great Southern Trendkill is great too, but the first 3 albums kind of like equal to me. Cemetery Gates, right? You know what? I'm going to go with that. It was one of the first Pantera songs I had ever heard. And I remember listening to the CD on headphones one night and went, the music industry has changed. That's what that album did to me. Trent Reznor messed with me at about that same time. So, yeah, things were just shifting a bit. And that was, 1990, 91, 92. Yeah, 93, 94. So many things happened at about that time. 93, 94, 95. It was just like Corrosion of Conformity, and just things were just boom. Linkin Park and all of that was a bit later. But yeah, it was an incredible time. So I'm going Cemetery Gates. Got to. And Cemetery Gates for a few reasons. First album, I think sometimes your best material is on that. In their case, no, because of the way that they progressed. It was just a new style of music. But yeah, I'm going to stick with that. And Cemetery Gates, so good, man. So good. The idea behind it, right? That the methodology, the way of writing, this new vision, this new way of singing and approaching song, and Cemetery Gates represented all of that, man. It was crazy. I'm Broken though. Woo! Right? Okay. So all pretty strong stuff. Let's see. Coming up next. I love UFOs. If you could be a guitar, which one and why? Well, then it depends on who's playing you, right? So, man, it'd be pretty cool to be Jimmy Page's Les Paul in 1972. Be pretty cool to be Jimi Hendrix's Strat in 1969. Be pretty cool to be Stevie Ray Vaughan's Strat in 1984, right? Jeff Beck's Les Paul or Strat. It depends on who's playing it, right? Randy Rhoads, right? To be his white Les Paul. Yeah, think about that. Or Dimebags Dean, right? I don't know. I don't know. It depends on who's playing it. But that's a great question. It's a great question. Man, probably Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstein. Can you imagine that? Eddie Van Halen's Ibanez Destroyer when they recorded Van Halen 1. Think about that for a second. That's pretty nuts. But, oh, man. Man, I got to go Jimmy Page's Les Paul. That'd be pretty. It's a great question. That's a great question. Depends on who's playing it. Okay. Just scrolling. Jimmy, have you got a tattoo? I do. I've got one. It's right here. It says Panama. Yep. Got that for $1 when I was 14 years old in Panama City. 14. Yeah. Oh, my dad was so mad. No more tattoos. I'm thinking about, I was going to surprise everybody. I was thinking about getting Fender and Gibson. That's what I was thinking about doing. Fender and Gibson. Maybe on the insides. On the outsides or the inside. But I have a friend of mine, a team in tattoos. Been friends since we were kids. And been thinking about it, going to see him and get those done. He's one of the best tattoo people in the world. And he's right here in Southern California. Okay, let's see. What do we have next? How about more gifts as I scroll? Okay. Any thoughts on the new whistleblowers, Immaculate Constellation? Yeah. Few thoughts on that. This one, okay. There's a lot of mystery behind this. So we need to, I didn't jump into this today like I did the last few days, but a few things need to happen. I want to see the official copy of this whistleblower report that was leaked. I want to see that, number one. Immaculate Constellation didn't show up in any Google searches until 2023. Not saying that the Department of Defense or some secret access program showrunner is going to be Googling the name of their secret access program, but it's kind of strange that didn't happen until 2023 in any capacity. So, and the name itself just seems too complex for the Department of Defense. It's too complex of a name. Man, I'm roasting. It's too complex of a name. You know, they come up with more simple stuff. They're not that smart. Anyway, we need, everything is nameless. The government doesn't know about the program, of course, and I'm talking about Congress. This is part of this leaked document, and that this has been going on for a while, that the program was established in 2017 after the New York Times article. Again, all convenient stuff. We need something much, much, much more solid. What is cool about this story is that it's keeping the conversation going. But fantastic claims, right? Need fantastic proof, as they say. So let's see. I want this. Immaculate Constellation. What does that mean? And so if you break that down, is there a meaning behind the names of other Project Sign, Project Grudge, Project Blue Book? That stuff never made any sense, right? Project Sign kind of did. It was cool. But see, it's simple. Grudge, Blue Book. Immaculate Constellation is too big. It doesn't roll off the tongue. So it seems strange. Anyway, what we need to have happen with all of this is the parts of this that nobody knows about, which is everything. Congress doesn't know anything. They have no control. It was started in 2017. Certainly nobody talked about it. We've had lots of hearings. Nothing's been brought up. We've had other whistleblowers come forward. Nothing's been brought up. And then suddenly we have this. So we need the whistleblowers. If they are under whistleblower protection, let's drop some names. Let's go. It's go time. I don't want this put off to next year. And I don't, for the community and for everybody else, if this doesn't turn into something, then we have more of the past. So, and everybody is well aware of that. So quit goofing around. If you're a whistleblower and you're saying this, come forward, drop the names. Let's go. It's go time. We can handle it, and so can everybody else. So the press is obviously ready to go. They don't have a problem in covering this. What's that news network that has been covering this? Man, what are they called? Not Fox. That little network. I can't remember. The one that Russ Coulthard's on. They're not afraid to cover this. So there you go. What's your favorite OR now? What is your favorite? Okay, this question doesn't make any sense. I'm going to pop this up. What is your favorite OR now in your life? I don't know what that is. So post the question again and help me out. Billy's not in Florida. He is in Egypt. I don't think he's back. No, he's not back for 3 more days. And thank goodness that it's bad out there in Florida. Oh, what is your favorite age in life? Or is it now at the ripe old age of 61? Yeah, I like where I am. I mean, each phase of my life was just crazy and amazing, but we all go through that. My teens were so cool. Before that, it was a little rocky because of the family life and everything else. But always fun. We made do. Teenage years, pretty nuts, pretty fun. Indianapolis, Panama, then back to Indianapolis. Very cool, very good time. The 80s, the 70s, the 80s. Very cool. But my 20s here in Southern California, the Sunset Strip and what was going on in 84, 85, all the way, well, till today. But so my 20s were cool. My 30s were great. Man, had my daughter. She is going to be 30 next year. I cannot believe that. So my 30s were cool. My 40s, yeah. It's all been a good run, but I like where I am right now. I truly do. I like where I am. Okay. Let's see. Will Jimmy come party and ride motorcycles in Thailand? I love that. I would like to go to Thailand, man. So you were like a month and a half old when JFK was assassinated. Yes, my mom has said to me that I was in whatever you want to call it. I was sleeping. What do you call it? Whatever. I was in front of the TV on the floor when the news broke on that, and she watched it and she said I was on the floor. But yeah, I was a month old. I was a month old. Okay. I'm roasting. This thing is great. Look at that. How cool is that? So when it's done, I can't wait to get on the bike and get out there riding. Okay, what's up next? Here's some biker gear. This is really cool. Let's see. I'm going to show you the packaging on it. And this is Harley Davidson stickers. Cool. This is a vintage. Well, that's what it says on the box. Motorcycle opener, but it's 2-sided. How cool is that? And it looks just like my bike. This is a vintage bike, but that's the look that I'm going for with mine. And that's cool. So I got that, and it's not a magnet. All right. You know that you sent this to me. Okay. And then there's this. Also a motorcycle. And it is the V-Rod, but it's a knife. And the seat right here, the rubber seat, is a flashlight. That is really cool. It's really nice. It's really nice. So I got that. Thank you so much. You know who you are. Put that down. All right. Next question. Next question. Jimmy, when did you first start playing guitar? I know exactly when that happened. Okay, so in Indianapolis, I came home one day. My dad had gotten divorced, so my dad and I were living alone together. I was an only child. I came home from school. Our house was empty. My dad and I, we had beds. I think we got a couch eventually in this pretty big house, but we had no furniture. But anyway, so I came home from school one day, and I walked in, and in the dining room, which had no dining room table, but it was the room for a dining room table, sitting there was a bass amp with a bass guitar. And the bass guitar was out of its case. And I'm looking at it. I was like, oh, okay. So I eventually kind of wandered over and picked it up, plugged it in, and started to play it. And I had like Frampton Comes Alive or something. I had some album like that. And I put on Frampton Comes Alive, or maybe Kiss. Or no, it was Frampton Comes Alive. Show Me the Way. Doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Show Me the Way. And I learned Show Me the Way on the space. And my dad helped me out with it. And that's when I got the bug. And I was 13. I go to Panama. I wanted to play guitar. How was I going to buy a guitar? And one day, he's no longer with us. His name was John Winklowski. He was a bass player. And this is 9th grade. And we're walking home, and he goes, man, let's go over to this guy's house. He's a guitar player, Roddy Underhill. And he takes me over there, and I go in, I meet Roddy. He was like the hot guitar player in the high school in all of Panama. And he had this guitar, this white guitar, turned out to be a Mossrite, and this guitar sitting on this bench. And he goes, that's for sale. I go, really? How much? $100? So I said, okay. So I go home to my dad. And I said, I need $100 for what? A guitar. He goes, learn classical guitar on my classical guitar from a classical guitar teacher for 3 months. I'll pay for the lessons, and then I'll buy you that guitar. I said, done. And I took the classical lessons. I went back to Roddy's house, told him what was up. He goes, take the guitar, pay me when your dad gives you the money. So I got the guitar, and that's how I started playing. I was 13. All right. Vintage 30-year greenback. Nice. Nobody knows what you're talking about. That's nice. I've got both. Yeah, that's a tough call, man. Jensen's. What about Jensen's? The old Jensen's. These are Celestion speakers, guitar speakers, and this is a hotly debated subject with guitar players. So I think it depends on a lot of things. Single cabinet, 212, 412. How is it wired? 8 ohms, 16 ohms, all, are you driving it with a 50-watt amp, 20-watt amp, 100-watt amp? What are your intentions with it? Is it a full stack? Is it a half stack? Is it 2 stacks? All of these come into play because that deals with volume and how you're driving the speakers. Both are good. I've got both. I like them for different reasons and when they break up. But he's talking about speakers. J. Paul, well played, my man. Well, it depends. Are you cranking your amp? Are you using your speakers for its tone? Are you playing at lower volumes, and you need the amp to cause the breakup more on the front end? Or are you opening up the amp for the power amp to kind of take over? All of these things come into play, but either one you can make work. Like I said, Jensen's, man, if you look at Eddie's original cabinets, he had 2 JBLs in there for that brown sound. Who would do that, right? All right. Let's see here. What would you do if you had an implant? Maybe I do, Brooke. What would you do if you had an implant? I mean, I would freak out. I would freak if it's an implant like what you picture, right? Okay, the Matrix, remember? Okay, right? And when they pull, it's so funny because if you think about this, when what they pull out of Neo's belly button in the back of the limousine, the Lincoln Continental. That's when they extract it. Or when they pull it out and they look at it, and it's that bloody mass, that thing, they suck it out. You remember? Copper top. Okay. That, like a mini version, that's what you're afraid of. Some of this stuff, well, it's a mass and it's got a growth around it and it seems biological and I can't really, you know what? That doesn't freak me out. That could be anything, and it could be an implant. It could be a lot of things. All right. I get that. That doesn't freak me out. I could live with that. Track me, ET. What I don't want is some mechanical frigging metal shrimp under my skin moving right. No. I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind. And I think all of us go, so what's it made? What do you mean no bass? I've got basses. It's not hanging behind me. I'm not a bass player. If I have a bass player come by and we need to play, I've got 3 bass amps in the back studio. I've got 2 cabinet simulators for basses sitting right there on the workbench, and I have 2 basses. I have one in the living room. I have one in the back room. So, yeah, man, I'm good to go. I've got drum. I don't play drums, but I've got drums. But you don't see drums in here, do you? You don't see keyboards in. I don't play keyboards, right? But I'm good to go. If anybody comes by, I've got them covered. All right, let's see what's next. Val Madness, happy birthday. Question: favorite top 5 guitars from your collection? I like them all equally. Top 5s, any of the Eddie guitars. There's a whole row of them starting from here all the way over to here. 6 of them right there. Those are all great. The Frankie is probably the best playing out of them. They all play great though, but that Frankie's just got an amazing neck. So that's up there. The 74 Strat is up there. The Flame is certainly up. That's in here. In the living room, I've got most of the Les Pauls out there. I have a gold top that is incredible. I have a standard that's incredible. What else is good in here? That RG 550 hanging on the wall is pretty cool. That Ibanez Artist gold top is pretty cool. The Dimebag Daryl ML over there, that thing is insane. What else? That's White Star guitar is pretty cool. Same as this Star right here. That one's got a Floyd. That one's a hardtail. This one's pretty cool too as well. The Floyd Star is pretty cool. This one is pretty sweet too. This is a guitar made for George Lynch, like made for George Lynch. And that guitar is pretty cool, pretty special. It's an ESP Horizon. It's about 25 years old. And yeah, it's a pretty cool guitar. This one, you don't see many of these around. Well, in any capacity, but this one was made for Lynch, and it's real thick. It's hollow, right? So it's hollow. It's real thick. The pickup switch is here on the knob. There's no switch on this guitar to switch between these. That's a George Lynch thing. That's on this guitar. This is one piece. Very just insane, made in Japan, real deal ESP Horizon. This thing is uber sick. Uber sick. So there you go. That guitar is pretty special. This SG, really nice. You know, they're all good. They're all set up to play. The PRSs are nice. So, all right. All right. So enough of that. Enough guitar talk. Happy birthday, Jimmy. All right. What's this? Who has been your greatest influence in your life? Wow. Greatest influence? Like, greatest influence? Probably my friend Jerry Reeskamp, who just passed away. The drummer friend of mine that we grew up together in our first bands and everything else. But Jerry, we stayed friends up until the very end when he passed away a couple months ago. And but Jerry, because I met him at such a young age, I knew that he was just a special person. He was a rock star, but he just had a special thing about him. And I just dug his attitude. And I just thought about him every day. Come on, what would Jerry do? Would Jerry like what I'm doing right now? Would Jerry like this song? Would Jerry want me to get this job? Would Jerry like the name I want to give my daughter? Would Jerry like this pizza? It was constant. I thought about him every day. So I know that sounds strange. It may not be. Man, this hair is hanging and bothering me. I know it sounds strange, but Jerry Reeskamp. Yeah, Jerry Reeskamp. Just incredible. On a professional level, I would say there's a guy, you can look him up on Facebook. His name is George Lampos. He was the manager of Guitar Center. Huge influence on me. James Fox, not the director James Fox. James Fox at Guitar Center. He now works for PRS. Somebody that I still talk to all the time. One of my best friends in the world. I call him Pops. And again, I've known him since I was a little kid, since he was a little kid too. And that studio with the ghost I was just telling you about, before I bought that studio, I took him there and showed it to him and said, should I buy this place? And he goes, no, it's a dump. And I bought it anyway. Anyway, that's James Fox. Huge influence on me. Just a great guy. Okay. Let's see. Do you think that you are under surveillance by the government for any UFO disclosure related reasons? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I believe so. I do. I have my own reasons for thinking that. I'm not going to get into now. But yeah, and you have to look at it this way. All right. No matter what your attitude is about the government or their ineptness or their genius, whatever it is, that doesn't matter to me. But they wouldn't be doing their jobs if they weren't aware of those that talk about the subject on a big scale. That's it. I've got to be on the radar. I have to. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And so, and when you take it a step further, forget about Coast or History Channel or Fade to Black or the movie, all of that stuff. And you know they're attending the conferences, they're watching, of course. But you take all of that away, and you come here to Palmdale, and you think about me riding around Palmdale in my Fade to Black Jeep, doing what I'm doing here, and they haven't run my tags and know who I am and jumped on social media any day that I'm out there, includes my motorcycle, by the way. I'm out there doing crazy stuff. What does it take to be somebody that's in investigations these days? It's nothing. You have the internet right there. You know everything about somebody. Oh, this guy's doing that, and he's out here. Yeah, of course. Oh, it's just him again. But yeah, for sure. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. This is coming in from Carl Olson. Carl, how you doing, brother? I was live in Washington State and loved the Maury Island case. Yeah, Carl, you're the best, man. Thank you so much. Pamela Jean, have you been abducted by aliens? And if yes, by who? I don't think. No, I haven't been abducted. I haven't. I don't want to imply that I have. I have no direct memory. No. Now, I do have the statements that I made in Sarah Breskman Cosme's regression, which was a lot of fun. The regression was amazing. And I said something that I have no memory of that. I do now. But I wouldn't call that an abduction. I wasn't abducted. I wasn't taken. I just appeared in this room and then came back out of it. But I wasn't like taken or struggled, kicking and screaming. That never happened. So I don't have any memories of anything like that. I don't. So no, I have never been abducted. Okay, that's it. Would I go if I would? Yeah. Well, if you don't have any control, then you're just abducted. You're kidnapped. You're gone. Would I go voluntarily? Man, it's a pretty good moment. But no, I haven't been abducted. What happened with Sarah Bressman Cosme, I wouldn't classify that anywhere close to an abduction or an abduction experience. And that's really true. I mean, people that go through abductions and you hear their stories, man, yeah. I mean, do I have the Travis Walton experience, the Betty Barney Hill experience, the Betty Andreessen experience? Do I have that? Do I have the, the communion experience? Do I have? No, I don't. So, and I kind of like it that way. Have you seen James Fox, the program? I have. And did you participate in the production? I did. There you go. Now you know. There's some really good stuff in that movie, by the way. There is some really, really, really cool moments in that film. It's a game changer. It's a good one. All of his films are great. Every single one. If you go back to, and I know that he kind of poo-poos on it a little bit, but I disagree. Out of the Blue and I Know What I Saw, man, those are excellent films, man. And James hears that from people all the time. I know the struggle that he went through on that and everything else, and recut and edit, and yeah, okay, I get that. But he's got to understand the influence that those two films had on everybody. The Phenomenon was great. Yes, but let's go back to the beginning here. Out of the Blue and I Know What I Saw, hugely impactful films. What interview guest imparted something to you that you just could not get out of your mind and really changed your life for the better? I've had a few. Hey, Ramon. What's going on, brother? Is it Ramon? Ramon, is this you, Ramon? By the way, I've got something. I'm not putting names on anything. But if you are in the audience and you see something on the screen and you want to say that's mine, then you do that. I've got to say, I mean, early impactful stuff for me, like Linda Moulton Howe, when we did that Thanksgiving show like 10 years ago, when she just talked about her journalism career. in the beginning. That was very interesting from her perspective. And through that time period of the late 60s, early 70s, that was a good show. That meant a lot to me. But I gotta say, probably, man, there's just been too many good ones. The Jay Widener Falconelli show about the cathedrals, that was pretty good. That was a barn burner. That was a good show. I've done a few with Dolan over the years that meant a lot to me, and the same thing with Stanton Friedman, a lot, and a few amazing shows too with Whitley Strieber. And with all of them, I understand the names are big, but that's not what was great about those shows. The first show that you do with a Whitley or with a Linda or with a Dolan, you get all those questions out that everybody else asks and that they are used to. It's the second show, the third show, the fourth show, where all of those obvious questions are out of the way. And I did the same thing with well, anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. I was going to say Travis Walton. Same thing with Travis. Get all those basic questions out of the way and then get to the next show, the third show, where you start to dig a little bit deeper. And that's what happened with Whitley. That's what happened with Linda. That's what happened with Stanton Friedman. I can go on, where it's the third or fourth show into each one that was where the good stuff was. And yeah. Okay, let's see. Did I get what I wanted for my birthday? Always. I like the surprises. Okay, if you could press a button for all of us to get full disclosure tomorrow, would you press that button? Sure, I would. Yeah. I don't give up at all. No. No. Do you think I enjoy being on the wheel in the habit trail, the hamster? Do you think I enjoy that? All right, that carrot out in front of you. Just keep going and keep going and keep going with no. What's the definition of insanity, right? So I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I did say last night, I think it was on the show last night, where I don't want the answer to be mundane. I don't want it to be disappointing. Or did I said that last night? I said it today with Christina. I don't want the answer to be mundane. I don't want it to be like, what? That's it? Really? I don't want that. I'm talking about disclose, like the answer to everything, and then just have it be mundane. Remember in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Remember, what is the answer to everything? What is the answer? 42. What? You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. I just, no, I spent too much time on this. I want some excitement at the end. So yeah, I'd press that button if I could. I'd press that button. Let's see. I love the Maury Island case for the missing box. Never left the base. Yeah. The Maury Island case. The more that you look at that case, it gets more and more fascinating. I totally agree with that. All right. So with that, let's take our break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, it's my birthday, so I'm celebrating with all of you. It's a very special AMA AJA birthday celebration. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get your alerts and access to over 2,000 videos. Click that subscribe button right now. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and get the Fade to Black official podcast. 2,000 episodes, all of them commercial free for just $2 a month. Watch Into the Vortex on Gaia TV. It's Fade to Black for the screen. Simple to do. Go to Gaia.com, search Jimmy Church, or click on the link below. Follow Fade to Black on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Get all of the show updates every single day. It's now called X, but who cares? How you doing? Jimmy Church here. Special announcement. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. That's right. Help support the show. Help support everything that we do over here. We've got 2 T-shirts. We've got 2 ways to get them. Get your Fade to Black T-shirt today. Go Backley Tappy. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and become a Fadernaut. Get a membership. That's right. Everything is commercial free. You have access to downloads, and you get to call yourself a Fadernaut. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, celebrating my birthday today with all of you. I turned 61 years old today. So, AMA, AJA, post your questions in the chat in all caps. I will get to as many as I can. I'll try to get to them all. And there you go. It's actually very simple to do. Okay. Next birthday gift. If you sent these to me, you know who you are. And this is a very cool pair of Versace sunglasses. I wear Ray-Bans, but these are really cool. And yes, I will definitely be wearing these in public. And here they are. Right here. Check them bad boys out. Huh? Right? Yeah. Yeah, these are really cool. Man, they're crystal clear. And I like my Ray-Bans, but I'm going to be wearing these at the Conscious Life Expo for sure. So thank you for those. All right. Okay. All right, next up. Tara Ray, did you get to be part of the hairband scene down on the Sunset Boulevard in Sunset Strip in the 80s? Yes, I was. That was why I came to California. Everything was happening at that time. Motley Crue, Van Halen, and the Strip. So anyway, absolutely, 84, 85. I'll never forget Gina Zamparelli. Gina, love you. She's no longer with us. And her sister, her dad introduced me to the Zamparelli family. And so anyway, Gina Zamparelli took me down to the street. She's a big promoter. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know who she was. She was just the daughter of one of my clients, Mario Zamparelli. And so anyway, I went down to the Strip with her and I meet everybody. We go to, and one day we go to one night, the Troubadour, the Rainbow, and the Roxy. And at the Roxy, it was Poison. Imagine that. There was like 50 people there. And just think about that. 85, man. You know. And then down at the Troubadour was man, I can see them now. I don't know why I'm spacing out. Anyway, so to see the strip at that point from 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, like that period, to go down there on any night of the week, 7 nights, it was every single night between the Whiskey and Gazzari's, to see that many people out on the streets, thousands, just packed. And it was electric. You could feel it. Things were happening. You had Guns N' Roses and you had Warrant and it's on, and it was, like I said, Poison. And all of these bands that were trying to make a name for themselves. And so you would go into any one of these clubs, there'd be 5 bands with the same kind of look, same kind of thing. But it was about having a good time and just let's go. That's what it was. Every single band was a party band, just like trying to bring the celebration. And it was just one band after another, just with this. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And then just going outside and diving into the crowds and then back into another club and back and forth, Whiskey, Roxy, Rainbow, Gazzari's, back and forth, up and down. It was just incredible. Every single night of the week. It was insane. Let me see here. Was I a part of the scene? Let's see here. Hold on for a second. Was I a part of the scene? Okay. Here, check this picture out. You ready? Check this out. I have so many images like this. So, but here's one. You ready? Bam. Oh my goodness. Look at my face. Look at that. And yeah. Christine. Yeah, she was really cool. My girlfriend at the time. So yeah. Yeah. Was I a part of the scene? I would say that is kind of putting it out there pretty well. This wow, this is old. I don't even know. Oh, there's a phone number on this. I can't show that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Our manager's number. Okay, here you go. There you go. Man, that's 80 something. That's 80 something. That's mid 80s in there, 85, 86. Yep. Yepers. Let's see. Here you go. Look at my Panama tattoo. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah. Was I a part of the scene? Yeah, I can show this. There you go. Jimmy Church with the Moser Flame. Photography by Michael Reel. There you go. It's a magazine ad. Yeah, pretty cool. The the magic of what was going on back then. It's a very difficult thing to try and put into words. This is at the Whiskey. It's at the Whiskey. There's my backup guitar there. It's pink with blue stripes. There's my main guitar there. But yeah, bandanas on the ankles, dressed as a bumblebee. But here's another ad here. Look at this, cigarette included. With a Nagel. That was a big deal back then in the 80s to have a Nagel painting, a Nagel graphic on your guitar. But yeah, there you go. Was I a part of it? I was. It was just such a fun time. It's exactly as I have tried to present it to you, where the fun, everything was over the top, everything was so now. Every evening was a big deal. You know, it was oh my goodness gracious. Look at this picture. Look at that. We just got off the stage. I got both of my guitars. Look at John Dominguez. It's Mick Stone, Tony Zanzola, and myself. I'm wearing a Michael Jordan red and black jumpsuit. But yeah, I think it's a backyard party. This might be at a club. I don't know. But those were the days. I can't. When I try to express about everything was over the top, everything was so big, everything had to be huge, everything had to be a celebration with all of these bands, and it was like that at every club every single night. It was just so much fun. Okay, where am I at? Will we get disclosure by 65? I would say yes. I would say yes. Okay, so here's another. I would say yes. Yeah, I think something's going to break. I really do. Michael Schellenberger reported the program Immaculate Constellation. I talked about this earlier. I get why this is a big deal to everybody, but what I don't like is seeing stuff like this where there isn't anything. Nobody knows anything. The whistleblower's name's not out. Congress doesn't know anything. The name of the project can't be disclosed. It's a secret access program. Therefore, we know nothing. But and the facts of the case that we have that it's been presented is that Immaculate Constellation was formed and put together after the New York Times article in 2017. Well, anybody could say that. We need some more stuff behind this. Now, I know that Schellenberger did say, I trust my source. All right, Susan Goff came out and said, no, there is nothing. We have nothing about this program. So, and then the counter to that is, of course, the DOD would say that. Well, yeah, but you can't use that for your excuse. Of course, the DOD is going to lie. Well, yeah, but that's not what we need. We don't need those statements coming from the community. What we need from the community is, want the whistleblower's name. We want to see this whistleblower report. We want the names of everybody that is doing this. Who put the SAP together? Whose idea was that? There's a paper trail for all of that. All right. Now, the special access program status gets granted, right? Where's that? Where is all of that? Where's the proposal for the program? All of that. We need that. We need that. We cannot say, well, of course they would lie. No, I don't. No. It's a great story. Right now, that's all it is. Michael Schellenberger is a journalist that has been out there for a while, and he's willing to put his name on the line and say that my source is solid. Okay. If the source, whose name you don't want to give, but if the source has gone through whistleblower status, then they are protected. They need to come forward. We need to see their face. We need to know their name. And let's go. It's go time. I want to see copies of everything. I want to see the report. I want to see this leaked report. Leaked to who? Right? Okay. So there you go. It's this community, it never gets boring. Just when the UFO world, just when you go down, it's like, okay, nothing's happened for a boom, Rich is right back up. And that's what we've been. This community has just been wave after wave after wave writing stuff. And let me say this directly to all of you. And please listen to me and listen to my words carefully. I understand that a lot of you are new to this. All right. New York Times. What's that thing on Twitter? UFO Twitter. This new fascination has come into it, and Fox and CNN and New York Times and the videos and Elizondo comes into play, and everybody else that has ridden this, that has come into the action. This is all new to you. So you think that this is a now situation. It's not. This is a little blip. Now, it's fun. All right. TTSA and Tom DeLonge. It's fun. It's cool. But we have been through this before many times. Many times. You think this is big right now? Let me tell you, when the hoaxed alien autopsy video came out, that thing was live on Fox TV. The video could be purchased in advance, which I did. What was going on around that at that time? That was ginormous. You have no idea. And at that same time, going on in that same period is this, these waves. We had the MJ-12 documents. We had the internet coming out. We had Roswell. We had Coast to Coast AM and Art Bell. All of this just launched, man. Just crazy. Pale Blue Horse and Pale Blue Horse. Pale Blue Planet. Bill Moore and William Cooper, and just that's wave after wave of stuff. The Roswell reports came out. We had two of those 3 years apart from the Department of Defense and the Air Force, and the other one from the General Accounting Office. These were huge, just wave after ginormous. And we were like, okay, all right, this is getting ready to bust out. Rendlesham and all of that in the early 90s on the internet, the Rendlesham tapes, surface on the internet, the audio recordings of this. So what is going on right now? It's fun. It's cool. But this community has been through all of this before. The sensation of communion, right? Travis Walton and what we went through with all of that, let alone going back to Betty and Barney Hill, right? So we've been through this over and over and over again. I could continue with the different huge revelations that we've had. So as researchers and people that have been part of this for as long as we have, we've been through this before. We've had the rug pulled out from under us many times. And I've been doing this heavy research for 30, 40, almost 50 years. And it seems like every single year, no, not seems like, it has been every single year. Is this the year? Is this the year? Is this the year? I've done that 40 times. Right. So, Jimmy, is this the year? Man, it's closer than it's ever been. The last hearings that we had in Congress, Gerald Ford and everything else, and the ending of Project Blue Book, that was in the 1960s, late 60s. And we haven't had anything formal because the Air Force shut down Project Blue Book, and allegedly there was no interest in the government. So we had to go through that all the way up until now. And since Susan Goff has had to go up and do all these pressers in for the Pentagon, answering to leaked videos and ATIP, And then suddenly UAPs and the UAP task force and the reports that are coming out, and then the White House press room, you hear UFO said there. That was crazy. So yeah, it's it's even TTSA, which had all this huge movement behind it. I had said back then, not so fast. Let's give this a year or two before. And it wasn't a year later, TTSA folded, right? As big as that was. What was that TV show they were doing? I can't even remember. I never watched it. But they had a TV show on History Channel with Elizondo and Al Putoff and whatever. It all went away. Think about that. So we've had these promises. All right. Do I think the Ouija board is legit? I do. It's just a vehicle, though. It's. I think that there's access to the other side. It's whatever you want to use, and then in this case, the Ouija board makes it convenient. The planchette, and so forth. So I'm watching. What is it? Agatha on Marvel right now. It's pretty cool. There's last night's episode, or the night before. Was it last night? Today's Thursday. It's Wednesday night. Was a Ouija board episode. It was pretty good. All right. More birthday presents. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, let me get rid of this on the screen. All right. All right. Pop. Couple of shirts, custom shirts. And you know who you are. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But check this out. Let me get to the top. Where's the top? Here's the top. Okay. Harley Davidson shirt. Harley Davidson shirt. Very, very cool. But what's amazing, this is custom. And this is dyed into the fabric. It's not printed. It's dyed into the fabric. It's so nice. It's like silk. And, how do we do this? So there it is. Boom. Right? That is so nice. You can see through it, by the way. I'm seeing through it, and I can see that it's really light. But that's very cool. It's amazing. It means so much to me to have somebody just care enough to have something like that custom made. And as if that wasn't enough, check this one out. Here's another one. And so here's the front. Harley Davidson. Really nice, right? Check this out. There's the back. You can't get the shoulder right. Fade to black over the shoulder. Oh, it's this hand. How nice is that? I cannot wait. And again, that's part of, you can see right through it. See, it's part of the fabric. So nice. I cannot wait to wear this at Conscious Life Expo. Look at the skull. The Willie G skull on the back. Bam. Happy friggin' birthday to me. You know who you are. You're in the chat room. Thank you for that. I mean, I talk about tears, right? That's just Okay. Let's see. What do we have next? How would I like disclosure to go down? I want disclosure to go down the way the community wants it to go down. All right? I want what you want. That's what would make you happy. What do you want? You know what you want. You want the president of the United States, whoever it is, to come on live TV from the Oval Office and say, we are not alone in the universe. That's right there. That's anything short of that for you is not disclosure. All right? That's it. That's it. That's what everybody wants. That's what we expect. The definition, when you get into different levels of researchers and you ask them that question, so what's disclosure to you? And then they go off and they've overthought it and they give their version of it. And it was the same thing for me. I get that and I understand it. But the community itself, for those that are expecting this and have a vision and know what they want, that's the level of it. That's it. It's the president live on TV. Period. That's disclosure. Anything else ain't disclosure. You know, when I say that, I don't need disclosure. I've already seen what okay. That's kind of a cop-out. It's true that I've seen insane stuff. I've seen what? I've seen that. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's aliens or it's not or it's this or that. I don't know. It's not a plane, a helicopter, or a rocket, or a meteor, or a comet, or any of it. No. So if it doesn't fall in there, it would. If it's not in that classification, what is it? All right. So there's something strange going on. Now let's find out what it is. And that's where I'm at. So do I need disclosure? Do I need the president on live TV? It would be nice. Me personally, I'm just waiting for you guys to be happy, right? I'm waiting for this to go to the next level. So that's it. I get that. Your disclosure is what I want. And you need to be able to turn to your husband, your wife, your children, your coworkers, your friends, your family. You need to be able to turn to them and go, see, this is what I've been on about. This is it. And then you can hold your head high. That's what you need. And the only way that you can do that is with the president of the United States live on TV. Anything else is just a book, or it's just this, or it's an announcement, or it's a newspaper article, or it's this, or it's whatever. It's a hearing in Congress. A hearing in Congress. Look, David Grush got up and did what he did. Was that disclosure? It was crazy town. It was fun. It was amazing. But that wasn't disclosure. No. You can't go to your friends or your family, your coworkers, your friends at school with that. Right? You can't do that at the nail salon. You can't do that, playing pickup basketball and go, hey, man, did you see that hearing on C-SPAN yesterday? You can't do that. It's not good enough. No. What you can do when you're doing pickup ball, slow pitch, whatever, and you're hanging out with your friends, you're at the museum, whatever, and you go, that was nuts last night. The president came on live TV and said, aliens are here. We are not alone in the universe. Well, that question is answered. That's what you need. So I'm with you. When we have that, then we have disclosure. All right. Can I be any more direct than that? And you guys all know I speak the truth. Everybody here knows I have always stated that I am here for the community. It is the community first. I always just speak the way that I think, right? And sometimes that's a problem. I get that, especially in public or at dinner or whatever. I've freaked some people out when it's just counting. But I don't run with a filter. I don't. And I am so concerned about the community. I do not want to be part of cliques or mayhem or arguing or any, because no, I just don't want to be a part of that. And I think that the divide in the community. When you think about the jabs, not only that I took, that a lot of people took, depending on what side of the fence you're on, right? The Tom DeLonge TTSA thing, and or this or that, or the Go Fast video, whatever. Oh my God. And no matter what you said, right? So Go Fast video, TTSA. I'm just pulling something out of the air. Lou Elizondo up on the screen, Chris Mellon up on the screen, whatever. And it's up there. And you can type in whatever you want. French Poodle, Ford Pinto. What do you mean Ford Pinto? What do you mean? And it's just like, you can't, it was insane. And that's the divide that this community has gone into. It wasn't like that in the 90s with the internet. It wasn't like that with the MJ-12 documents. You could have a valid opinion on that, and nobody was going to roast you and tar and feather you and quarter you in the street in public. No. Today, it's okay to attack and divide, at least with some people. And when you're in that bubble, and your bubble is whatever your world want it to be at that point in social media, the algorithms know this. They know exactly what you want to see. So you only see the side that you're clicking on. And you think, and so that's what's presented in your feed. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. They're all the same. They all run the same. And so you're going to say, so you think the rest of the world is the same as you and your bubble and your news feed. It ain't that kind of party. It's not. It's not. Man, get out of the bubble and look around. The water's fine out here. You'd be surprised. But people want to be in that little thing, and they just think that the whole world is whatever. Lou Elizondo imminent. That the whole world. No, it's not. It's not. And it's not all this, and it's not all alien graves. It's not all abductions, and it's not all physics and science, and it's not all cat videos. There are some people in their feed that only have videos of, pick something, Ariana Grande. So they think it's an Ariana Grande world. I can't tell you an Ariana Grande song, except for the one that she sang in Don't Look Up. It was really good. I could, but there are people that are in that bubble that don't know anything about the UFO subject or what's going on in the world. They don't. They're in that bubble, that thing. And it goes on. It doesn't matter who you are. There is an individual bubble for you on social media, and you're inside of it. And that's it. That's your world. And you think that everybody is tripping on the same things that you're tripping on. And they're not. They're not. They have no idea what you're talking about if you're going to jump into that, about whatever. Man, have you seen that new Ariana Grande video? That's crazy. What? No, I haven't. What do you mean you haven't? You haven't seen the new Taylor Swift? You haven't heard that thing? You haven't about Puff Daddy? No. If you're in that bubble, you're in that Puff Daddy world, you're going to have a Puff Daddy thing, right? Or Ukraine, whatever it is. Whatever it is. So there you go. Okay. Have you seen Carl Crusher's? Okay, let's see this. What is this? Have you seen Carl Crusher's video on CIA UFO patents at Mount Wilson Ranch? Plasma orbs, projected mental manipulation, Skinwalker Ranch could be weapons testing. It was called OSAP after all. I haven't seen it. I'm going to make note of that though. I've never been to his channel. People talk about it. I've never been to his channel. Jimmy, what happened to you going to Egypt this year on your birthday? A few things happened. One, I got busy. Two, I had other stuff that came to surface that I had to deal with. Three, we have something going on over there with Israel, Lebanon, and Gaza and Iran. and that was all bubbling to the surface. And I just thought that my time was better spent here getting stuff done and moving forward than doing 3 trips back to back and being gone for 3 straight months. So no, I had to keep the ship afloat and take care of personal stuff here and my career. There's other things that are going on behind the scenes. So that's what happened. But thank you for asking. That is Jessica Rodriguez. There you go. And, you know, because I made that decision, I get to do this tonight with all of you. I'm recording this, Jimmy. Good for you. It's Dex. Philip Shepard, have you hiked any of the Appalachian Trail? Not officially. I would like to, though. I've been in that area. I've driven over it. I've been around it. I've been at top and bottom of it. But have I hiked the trail? No. I would like to. I'd like to have a trail name. What would my trail name be? I need a trail name. Cemetery Gates, strong choice. Seriously. I know, right? It's the way that Cemetery Gates was on Demon Night. Am I that far behind? Oh, man, I am an hour behind. Fess up, Jimmy. You mean the Carpenter's close to you? I am that far behind. I'm an hour behind on these questions, and we have 15 minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire these. Jimmy, keep it clean. No more tattoos. If you decided to say hell with it and just disappear, where would you go? It would have to be a mix of warm and cold. So where would I go if I had to disappear? Man, I would go into... Man, you go into Northern California, into the woods, Oregon, Washington. You get into there, Denver, Colorado, Utah. You could get lost up there, and nobody would if you wanted to be alone. Of course, you have Idaho. Idaho has a lot of that. Wyoming is, but there's wilderness there too as well. Montana. Yeah. But you could also get lost in Las Vegas, for sure. Have you guys seen Taylor of Sin City? If you haven't, I've watched half of it. Go peep that out. It's pretty good. You can get lost in Vegas. Okay, I am going to do this as fast as I can. Let me scroll through here. Is there any quantum disclosure project? Oh, what's going on? What is going on? Okay, so are you back in New Mexico, by the way? Let's see that. Okay, we'll keep all that on the down low. Do you have any places you want to travel that you haven't been to yet? I just mentioned that. Australia, the Far East, the Near East, and that includes Tokyo, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Vietnam. I would love to go to all of those places. Thailand, of course. China. Well, I just said that. Hong Kong would be really cool too as well. Beijing. I would like to go to the Great Wall, but anywhere in that area, all the way down to New Zealand, like that whole thing. I haven't been over there yet. I haven't. And I've just got to knock it out. Jimmy, I grew up in Lafayette, so I'm familiar with your area. How cool. Right on. Right on. What is your favorite birthday meal, dish, and when? Man, whatever's good that night. Tonight, it's steak, bacon-wrapped asparagus, mashed potatoes, and a salad. And what do you call them? Apple dumplings. Apple dumplings with the sauce. So it's like a whole apple wrapped in and pastry dough with the top and cinnamon on the inside and the sauce. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Okay. Yeah, filet mignon. Vodka shots. No more. How can I send you gifts if we wanted to? Happy birthday. Jamie, write me at my email, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I'll give you an address where you can ship to. Okay, so just do that. Drinking Dos Equis. Yeah, right on. All right. Let's start a band. What's your favorite type of pickup? My favorite pickup is like the only one that I use. Well, I use two. Duncan JB or JN, but JB's on just about every guitar that I have. Everything that you look at right here. That's a whole row of JBs, man. JB. These are DiMarzios in the Steve Vai guitars. Those are whatever the Steve Vai pickups, but JB. And then all of the single coil guitars that I have, there's a single coil pickup in there. They are the Yngwie Malmsteen YJM Duncans, which are humbucking pickups, single coil stacks. But everything is, so that's what's in the single coils. Everything else is JBs in this entire thing. And before anybody goes, so what's a JB? This is a JB right here, right there. It's a JB. The flame guitar, JB. Those are all JBs. JB. They say it stands for jetback, but it's the person that wired, coiled the guitars. That's the J. The B stands for bridge. And so JN is J neck. JB and JN. These are Butler bass. All right. Let's get to this. What would you, okay, hold on. Any words of wisdom that you would want to go back in time and tell little Jimmy from the Jimmy of today? Yeah, simple. You're going to love life. Keep your head down, smile, be positive, no negativity, and get a Harley. That's my advice. Just avoid dicks, avoid negativity. Just avoid that. Don't be friends with them. Don't. It slows you down. You can have more time to spend on fun and positive things. That's it. That's the lesson. Man, if there is one lesson, one thing that words of wisdom, a piece of wisdom that I can impart is that don't have negativity. If you spend any time at all tripping on somebody's negativity, you'll never get that time back. And it's wasted time. Nothing. If you sit and think about it, or if you engage, is wasted time. It's wasted time. Put it out of your head, go to something positive and smile. That's how you progress and that's how you move forward. So that's what I would tell my little self, but I kind of adopted that when I was young. Anyway, happy birthday, Ken Priest. What is your favorite birthday dinner and dessert? I just went through that, Ken. Oh, Ken wrote that an hour ago, so he didn't hear me talk about my apple dumplings. Did you see any creatures in the woods or heard any crazy sound? Have you seen any creatures in the woods? I don't know if I've seen creatures in the woods. Yeah, that's I really enjoy this question. No, but I don't think that I have. You know what you don't want to be? The new Salem's Lot is out, right? Stephen King, the new Salem's Lot. And I only watched a piece of it. I might go back. It's a vampire movie. But anyway, there's a scene in the beginning, a couple little kids, like 10 years old, going through the woods, take a shortcut, and you know what's going to happen, right? You know, and I was like getting freaked out. It was at night. It was late. It was like 12 midnight. I'm in bed. The lights are off. Salem's Lot. It's just not a good idea, right? So a few days ago, anyway, these two kids, man, walking through the woods, and what did they hear from in back of them? Right, a twig break. You don't want that. You don't want that, let alone any other sounds. What bands have you played in, and are we able to watch some on YouTube? No, there's nothing up on YouTube. My stuff's too old. My mom has got video of stuff, and it was very difficult for me to watch. I have a video. My brother sent it to me. It's a video of me watching myself, and you could see me going. It was hard. It was difficult. Okay, so anyway, my mom's got a bunch of those videos. You know what? We were having a good time. We thought that life was just what we thought it was at that point. We were laughing. We were writing happy songs, and we just thought that the world revolved around us like all of those bands did back then. It was so much fun and so much camaraderie, and I really dug it. We were very happy, very oblivious. If you could live on a UFO forever but not be able to tell anyone and never return, would you do that? Maybe. I would contemplate it. So many things. Look, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, number one. So that's got a lot of weight to it. The flip side is, man, we got to go to the obvious. What are the clothes like? What's the food going to be like? What's the entertainment like? How am I going to learn? When you are on planet Earth, you have stuff that you can do when you can learn. You can go to school, you can go play, you can go this, you can go do that. If you're a kid on a starship, on some colonial, starship, going to, how do you experience life? How do you experience life? How do you learn? What, you're just going to sit in a classroom and have stuff projected at you? So yeah, if you're going to be stuck on a UFO forever, man, there's a checklist of things that we have to address. It's just not about, wow, man, I'm going to be on an alien spaceship for the rest of my life. Let's go. No, man. I don't want it to be torture. Remember in Galaxy Quest, when they go in and they're on the spaceship for the first time, they go in, they're having dinner, and Alan Rickman, remember, he's got his thing on, and that bowl with that, what's your favorite meal? And he was like, what if you had to deal with that, right, for the rest of your life? That would not be a fun time. No, things would have to be addressed. Jimmy, did you ever go to the Halok in Indianapolis, or were you too young? I don't know what that is. Haloki? Which of the 2000s bands do you like? I like Linkin Park. There's a bunch. Rammstein. There's a lot of Hypocrisy. There's a lot of things that Rage Against the Machine, but that was more 95. But they were still going into that. But yeah. What was that band? What was his name? Mark McGrath. What was that band called? Hold on for a second. But that was like 95 too as well. Mark McGrath. What was the name of his band? Yeah, there he is. Fly. What was the name of his band? Sugar Ray. I liked him. But they were more that was more 90s, I guess. I don't think they were probably gone. Yeah, 97, 99. Someday was 99. When It's Over was 2001. Okay. So Every Morning, 1999. Yeah, man. That was a good band. I admit it. I listened to it. Why did I even think about Mark McGrath? I haven't thought of that guy's name. And I remembered it too. That's even sadder. That's okay. We all have our guilty pleasures. Mine was Sugar Ray. Okay. All right. Man, we're winding down here, and I'm at 8:16. I'm 45 minutes behind. How did you do your hair? Any product recommendations? Back then, and this is from Amy. Back then, the person that cut my hair, mainly I had two people, Elena Cazares, and she's on Facebook. She works for NASA now. But back then she went to beauty school. She learned how to cut hair. She cut my hair. And then Paul DeArmas, who has left this earth. He's the guy that cut White Snake's hair for all that. He was the big hair guy in the 80s. And he cut my hair all the way until 2000. So he cut my hair from like 86, 87 until 2002. Yeah. Yep. So basically two people, Elena Cazares, she's a she, and Paul DeArmas, and both amazing. So there you go. Okay. What hair products? Aquanet. What? Are you kidding me? There's nothing else to use. Jimmy, unless you lived it, you can't describe it. Yeah, you're right about that. Talking about the 80s. Ken Priest, coming in strong, 99 birthday shots. Thank you so much, Ken. I miss you, brother. I can't wait to hang out with you soon. What caused the downfall from the 80s, especially in music? Very simple. It was called Seattle, Soundgarden, Nirvana. You know, you can throw in Pearl Jam a little bit later, but Hole, Sub Pop, right? That whole scene just took over, and Alice in Chains a little bit later, and so I still love my advents for listening to albums. I don't know what that. Happy birthday! My wife has been listening to you since episode 1 and wanted to say we love you, and you are always down to talk about some cool ancient Canadian wonders one day with you. Okay, yeah, right on. Look at the clock. Let's see. When you imagine the Big Bang, is it exploding at you or away from you? Well, see, that's the deal. It went all directions at the same time. Yeah. And I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I kind of used to, but I was forced into imagining the Big Bang because of the description of it. And we heard it over and over and over again. So the Big Bang. All right. I get it. Now when I think about it, I'm not so sure. I think it's forever. That's what I think. Wow, gorgeous, Jimmy. Fade to Black Radio. You must be talking about some of those old pictures. I'm trying to get to the end, and I know that I'm nowhere near it. What a fun night on the show. Just don't get lost in Bigfoot country. Trail name Harley Hiker. Madeline. Coming in strong. Coming in strong. All right, you're back in New Mexico. That's really cool. I don't want to talk about that on the air, but you understand. Jimmy, have you been to Easter Island? No. Trail name host Jimmy. I haven't been to Easter Island. That is bucket list too as well. I thought that I was going to get that done this year. I didn't pull that off. I would like to get there next year though. Have I ever tried a Star Force guitar? No, I have not. Hold on for a second. Star Force guitar. I've never heard of it. No. Oh, this is interesting. So they were made by BC Rich? Is that what the deal is? I mean, this is, yeah. I remember these guitars. Yeah. Wow. No, I remember now. I do. I sound like Queensryche. I remember now. I remember how it all happened. I remember now. Such a good album. Jimmy, are you a Doors fan? I am not. I've never been. I'm a sort of Doors fan. Couple of songs, but no, I never owned a Doors album. There are a few things that got by me. Do I appreciate the Doors more today as an adult? I do. But when I was growing, no. I didn't care about the Stones growing up. I didn't care about the Beatles growing up. I didn't care about the Doors growing up. I didn't care about Jefferson Airplane growing up. No, man, for me, it was a Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin world with some Santana and Jeff Beck and that early Ted Nugent stuff. All of that was me. You know, Rick Derringer. I mean, there was a certain thing that's where I was at. Kiss. You know, and that everything else, no, I just, no, it just got past me. And as an adult, I appreciate it more. I appreciate, you know, Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship. I go, and especially the early Starship stuff. I go back and I listen to that. I'm like, this is like some of the best stuff ever done. Why didn't I care? You know, I listen to the Doors now, or, you know, some of that early stuff. Now, I'll never get the Grateful Dead. No, I don't have the energy. I'll never apply it. What is your favorite sci-fi movie of all time? No questions. 2001 Space Odyssey. It's the best. Not a good ones, though. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Even some of the newer stuff like Arrival, right? Interstellar are really, really amazing films. And there's a lot of new stuff that is really good. But you go back, Logan's Run, Silent Running. Those are incredible. Silent Running today still holds up. It's just incredible. 2010. And I know it's Peter Hyams and, you know, it wasn't Stanley Kubrick, but it's really Roy Scheider's amazing in that film. And 2010 is a really good film too, as well. But 2001 A Space Odyssey, it's going to be there for everybody for a long time. What's the largest UFO that's been described to you? Probably what I've seen was pretty big, but I've had people tell me that they've looked up and have seen aircraft carrier sized stuff. I've heard this many times from different people that were not connected. And I've always been fascinated with that. Now, mine was vertical, the beer can. It wasn't sideways, and it wasn't like from horizon to horizon low. But I've had people, you know, people that I know describe this stuff to me, and I've never seen anything like that. So thanks for spending your birthday night with us. Yes, thank you, Jessica. Thank you for spending it with me. Man, we're past 9, so that means we're off most of the networks now, but I'll see what else I can squeeze in. Okay, so I'm at 9 here. Okay. What is something good to binge watch for series right now? Bad Monkey's really good. Slough Horses is really good. That's season 3, but Bad Monkey was pretty good. Vince Vaughn. Now, if you want to go science fiction, From is really good. It's really good. From is actually, it's getting pretty intense. I just finished something on Marvel, and there was another Star Wars thing. I forget what it was called. A couple of months ago, it was pretty good, but still going back and it's so hard for me to get interested in science fiction in a TV series, you know. So, but have you guys seen There, man, I'm spacing it. I don't want to do this at the end of the show. Let's see what it says. Play a few chords. Happy song. Thank you for that. $4.90. Did you ever watch Land of the Lost or Mork and Mindy? Now, Land of the Lost, I watched all of that when I was a kid. I loved that show. And Mork and Mindy, yeah. Now, Mork and Mindy came on the air when I was in Panama. So I didn't get to watch Mork and Mindy until it was in syndication. So for the 3 years when it was the sensation of the world, when that was going down, I was in Panama. We didn't have TV down there, and we didn't anyway, I don't want to spend much time on that. I had 3 years of no television, basically, and Mork and Mindy was part of that. I didn't Taxi. At the same time, I had to watch that stuff on syndication. I never watched it when it was on TV. Okay. All right. So that's it. Slee Stacks. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Great night on the show. Thank you for hanging out with me. I did a shot of vodka live on the air, and I'm 61 years old today. It meant a lot for me to hang out here with all of you and just do an AMA, AJA, and have this night. So thank you so much. Everybody behave. Have a great, safe, fun, and amazing weekend. I'll see everybody right here on Monday. Until then, you know what I've got. It's Go Backley Tappy. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Special thanks to Bill, John, Dex, Jessica, Dennis, and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boy. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Go Backley Tappy.